sharp 7 p.m. in India, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sirs and madams. Thanks for joining. In case if you're watching me on Zoom, thank you very much for joining on Zoom. In case if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you very much for joining there. Poonam, madam, thank you very much for coming live. Is it okay if I just speak to the audience for some time, then come back to you? Thank you very much for giving that permission to me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, even before we start, let me settle certain questions which are coming in my mind, and then we'll take it further from there, because what I've learned as a student of communication, unless and until the questions are not settled here, we'll not able to focus the content. So the one question was there, that where is my green screen? So suddenly it has appeared now, right? Question coming in my mind, and let me open the chat and ask that question, and I want you to write the answer in the chat. Tell me, where are you from, by the way? Just type your city name in the chat box. Go ahead, just type your city name. Bangalore, Kadapa, Hyderabad, Iluru, Srinagar, Coimbatore, Nashik, Nagpur, Trivandrum. Go ahead. Don't be that person who has the answer in the mind, not typing in the chat box. Please go ahead. Okay. Mysore, Kolkata, Navi Mumbai, Delhi, Nairobi, Delhi, Boisar, Kerala, Delhi. See, the reason I ask you to write the city name, not because someone has told me to engage the audience by asking them to write the city name, but I want you to understand the simple truth that we should feel so fortunate that we are in 2021, where we have technology. You sitting there, I sitting here. In case out of curiosity, if you're thinking, Praveen, where are you sitting right now? I'm in Mumbai. Poonam, madam, where are you right, by the way? You have to unmute your mic. Kindly unmute your mic.
I'm in Pune.
You're in Pune. Achha, we're not very far away from this place. Yeah. Great. Okay. Let me respectfully stop the chat. What do you mean by that? It means that one more thing which I've learned as a student of communication, it's a responsibility of the speaker only to ensure that nothing is happening which is taking the attention from the content. So we will open the chat, we'll close the chat wherever is required. One question coming, and let me settle that question, then I'm coming to you, ma'am. And the question is for the audience. You guys are a part of my educational WhatsApp group, where within my capacity, I'm trying my best to raise the awareness on various subjects. One is, of course, how to harness the power of words, your ability to speak in front of people. Then how to understand the importance of this language, which we have to, that is English, how to speak fearlessly and fluently. Then also, as a student of communication, I thought, okay, there's a limit up to which I can do this. And then slowly I thought, instead of just raising awareness about communication, there are certain other things also on which I have to raise awareness. And one such thing is health. So I'm the process of finding some people, and not those people who have learned these techniques and method, health techniques and method, to become a trainer, rather because life demanded it. There's a difference between when you become a trainer because you want to become a trainer, or you have learned something because life demanded. So the essence, the heart and soul of all the trainers which are coming from our house, Speak and Grow house, is they are the trainers who have learned one skill because life demanded. Now they are sharing their knowledge with the world. Keeping that in my mind, let me ask one question. How many of you are meeting me for the first time? You have never attended our sessions. Click on A. Click on B. No problem. We have attended few of your sessions before also. This is not the first time. A, for the first time we are meeting. B, no problem. We have met before. A, for the first time. B, no, we have A or B, A or B, A or B. Okay, let me end the poll. Then let me share the results. So house is fairly divided, by the way, today, 56% and 44%. Great. So we have consumed already 4 minutes, but in this 4 minutes, you might have noticed 2 ways we will interact today: via chat and via poll. Okay. With this, let me take Poonam madam also in the spotlight. And before I ask question to her, it should not happen that you are feeling that you're speaking to a stranger. So let me very quickly introduce about her. She's a therapist and energy medicine practitioner, a certified practitioner in past life regression, aura healing, quantum healing, cognitive therapy, and more. These are heavy words, by the way, ma'am. Right? Within our capacity, we will try to understand these. She's working with more than 15 modalities to heal mind, relationship, and psychosomatic issues. And I remember I was talking to her earlier. We had a long discussion and long series of meetings even before we come live in front of you guys. One thing which I really loved about her, and I was pleasantly surprised when she was sharing this with me, that she has volunteered with an NGO, which is a suicide prevention helpline. So thanks for your services, Poonam ma'am. She's also a PhD in psychology of Buddha teaching. My first question to you, ma'am, which I have very carefully drafted to start this conversation. When I have gone through your life journey, you have helped many people, hundreds of people, to come out from their emotional issues, psychosomatic issues, physical issues, relationship issues. And you are saying that, Praveen, for this, we don't need medicines every time. You have to work on your mind. So my question to you is this. When you are claiming that happiness, emotional well-being, health, even the status of your relationship, all is related to mind, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate more on that?
Firstly, I'll thank you, Praveen sir, for giving me this honor and for such a lovely introduction and giving me this opportunity to address this wonderful audience. And it's an honor, sir. And also, thank you everybody for joining this. And as you had asked me this question as to how is it that we don't require any kind of medicine and how is that mind can connect to so many issues in our life. Generally, sir, whenever we ask for everybody this, generally when we talk about health issues, we only think on one line. When we say we have to look after our health, we generally are only looking at our body, what we should eat, how we should exercise. But there is lots beyond it, and it is a very large part of our well-being, which you'll understand through this session. So hopefully I'll be contributing a lot through the sessions, another awareness as to where you should be also giving a lot of attention. So like to friends over here, last 2 years have been very, very uncertain for all of us. In fact, because of the pandemic, it has pushed us hard in another unknown territory. Stress and anxiety level has gone so high. In fact, I was reading a journal which was mentioning that stress level has gone up by 30% in these 2 years. I mean, rather 1.5 years. And what is happening around us, we cannot control, can we? We cannot control what is happening around us. But the only thing we can control is that we can control our inner turmoil, isn't it? That's the only thing we can control. So the turmoil in the outside world, we may never know how it is happening, why is it happening, but we can connect with our inner self to understand how to control it. So that's what the journey I will be taking today, so that it also will connect to all your health issues also.
Okay, so are you saying this that we all know there's a turmoil inside, right? Few people might show that, there's a subtle calmness, just like a pond, very calm on the surface, but a lot of turbulence inside. So are you saying this, that this session, you're going to help us to control our inner turmoil?
Yes.
But how?
So today, yes, we are going to cover this because this is a basis of all the issues. You'll see the connection in this webinar. So today, we will be covering this entire webinar into 3 parts, which is going to help almost it will connect to all parts of your life. The first is going to be the causes of our emotional pain. How do the stress comes up, or anxiety, anger, lack of confidence, where it is connected, and why we are also stuck in this pattern. Because if you see people who have an anger issue, with any trigger, they go into that journey. So why we are stuck in this pattern? The second would be understanding mind and body connection. There is a connection between mind and body, and it is going to be very relevant to what I'm going to cover today, because it is going to be a huge connection as to how to change the emotional patterns. And the third would be, which is the most important, how to change these patterns, which can help you to control the situation in your life. So whatever you are going to learn today, it will help you tremendously. And when you use this, whatever techniques and steps we are going to cover today, it is, in case you use it in your life, it is going to help you tremendously to ease out a lot of areas of your life and also a lot of health issues. So I would request everybody to have a pen and pad with you so that you can write the points.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Let me ask this question, because I have a habit of asking this question in the audience. Tell me, how many of you are actually sitting with a notebook and pen and pad? Click on A. Yeah, Praveen, I am sitting with a notebook, pen, pad. Click on it. Click on B if you are not sitting with a notebook and pen and pad. A, if you are sitting with it. B, if you're not sitting with A or B, A or B, A or B, A or B. Okay, let me end the poll and see, man. We are serious people sitting here, almost 70, almost 70% people sitting here. So out of 10, 7 people are sitting here to take notes. 30% people, make sure you take some mental notes, or if something is handy, please take it.
That would be great.
Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So that's a great insight the audience has to keep something with them. Great. So let me share how I am associated with what I'm doing today, which drove me to look for solution. And later, this whole journey of mine transformed me into my profession. My husband is an army officer, and he's an infantry officer. And as an infantry officer, he is generally posted in these border areas or insurgency areas. And this happens more with the infantry officer. And these areas are generally disturbed, like Jammu and Kashmir, and also I am not permitted to stay with him. So 70% of my married life, I have been living alone, managing my life, and also managing my affairs and being almost like a mother and father to my 2 boys. So this incident, which I'm telling you about, is in 1997. I was in Dalhousie. It's a small mountain in Himachal. And my children at that time were 2 years and 6 years old. And J and K was, at that time, was very active with terrorism. A lot of militants were there. My husband was moved there initially just for a few months. But those few months carried on for 3.5 long years. Though I had the option to come back to my parents or go to my in-laws, but I decided to continue there just for one reason, so that I can speak to my husband twice a day on the army internal lines on the phone. Because you must remember, in 1997, we did not have mobiles. And also through the civil lines also, it was very difficult to get into these places. In fact, I don't think so. In 1997, maybe my mother didn't even have a phone in the house, a civil phone. So during that period, when my husband was posted there and things were really rough, I started getting these anxiety attacks. There was an unknown fear which started hounding me. And not only that, the darkness would hound me, but I have to be there with my children to stay strong. In fact, it was funny, in the evening, I would cook very early dinner, place everything in my bedroom along with my children so that I shut rest of the house so that I don't have to go into the darkness in the other room. Because even my house used to haunt me at night. And Dalhousie used to have long evenings because it's a small station and a mountain. So they have very early darkness. So like at that time, my husband would often go out into these operations, and operations means they are actually in action. There is guns and bullets, they all are there, taking place, whatever the action taking place between them and the militants. My mind at that time used to create a lot of these imaginative story, unpleasant negative thoughts. It's very difficult to stay calm when you know that your husband and these guys are out and this thing is happening. I used to try and calm myself, but sometimes I used to succeed, sometimes I wouldn't. And then, unfortunately, my fear actually took the shape of a reality. My neighbor's husband, bullet-ridden body, came home. It was extremely shocking and traumatic because this couple was just married for 2.5 years. And they just had 1-year-old daughter. And I was so much paining for that child that she will never be able to see her father. She'll never be able to know her father. This whole scene, this whole, whatever I saw, it traumatized me and it shook my confidence. And it was also real that we can lose a loved one anytime. This is real. This is not what I was just thinking it may or may not happen. And after that, the fear started enveloping me. I started getting insecure towards my children. I used to get fearful about the darkness. At night time, I started actually checking my door 10 times, even when we were posted in the city, because I would never be sure. My confidence was so low. And that was a time when I started thinking that now I have started actually impacting my children's confidence also.
Yeah.
And I felt I need to do something about this because I need to be strong, not just for myself. I need to be strong for anything inevitable happening. Because that's what, when your husband is in the army, you have to be prepared. And I started looking for help. I started talking to seniors. I started reading books. I started learning different techniques and started practicing them. So to just get out of this fear. And I just share the screen. This is my family now, so that you have a fair idea of. So that's, this is last year. So that's, I mean, all is well now. I mean, all is well. Children are grown up now and they are quite confident working. So thanks to my journey that I did work, and hopefully, I mean, they will have a good journey. And later, in fact, I also joined Pune University to study mind and behavior because of this, because I wanted to understand as to why my mind was in so much of turmoil, why was it creating so much of fear. And after 20 years of walking this transformational and learning path, spending years of learning mind and spending loads of energy and finances, I now work with 15 different modalities, as you had mentioned. When you say psycho, you had mentioned psychosomatic issues. Like I work with mental issues and psychosomatic issues both. So psychosomatic means the physical health issues which are born from the issues of mind. In fact, WHO also recognizes that 80% of whatever is happening in your body is connected to mind. And Ayurveda says 95% is connected to mind.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting you here, but one question coming in my mind here. One is, of course, I must appreciate and congratulate you because I love when people love fall in love with one skill because life is demanding that skill from that person. So for last 2 decades, you have invested your time to learn this particular skill, and we are happy that you are now ready to share with the world, and you have been sharing since the last few years. But you're talking about mind and you're talking about fear, as you're mentioning that even WHO mentioned that many 80% of diseases and physical illnesses is related to fear, related to mind. But many of us, we have just accepted it. Many of us, we just look towards fear. It's a part of our life. We don't deny it. We don't even consider it abnormal. What's your view on that?
Actually, that's the irony. Because we never question our behavior. And that is a reason why we don't look for the help until it is too late. In fact, if you'll see, there are a lot of people around you who are going through depression or anxiety, but they feel it's okay to be stressed. To a certain level, fine. But somewhere you have to sort of look around and see how the other people are dealing. And in case it is frequency is very high, then you must go and look for help, because the longer it stays with you, the larger it becomes a part of you. And then you get into that pattern, negative pattern. So this actually, I will clear this whole aspect through a story, which will give you more clarity. So I'll just share my slide with you. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, just imagine a family. Let's call them a Goyal family. This Goyal family has a very, very successful garment manufacturing business. Just think of it, because this will connect a lot of dots. All the adults are fully involved in different aspects of running the family business. Suddenly, because of some unforeseen circumstances, their business just shuts down, and completely they had to bear all the losses, and the entire family is suffering from this financial crunch. So there is a grandchild, there are youngsters, there is a 60-year-old gentleman. But I want to ask you this. Rather, I would like to take a poll here. Okay, so this is something which you'll have to help me out.
You want me to launch a poll on A and B?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Frame the question, ma'am. So before you launch the poll, the audience should be very clear.
Okay, let me just, okay. So the question is, wait, just a minute. So the question is everybody in the family are going to go through the same intensity of emotional turmoil? If you feel everybody is going to go through the same turmoil, so then type 1A. Otherwise, type B.
Yeah, you can click on A or B. So the question is that if I'm going to react, everyone is going to react similarly, click on A. If differently, click on B, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me launch the poll. 1 minute. Let me relaunch the poll. Yep.
So the question again, I'll repeat, is if you feel everybody will go through the same intensity of emotional turmoil, then press A. Otherwise, press B. Intensity is going to be the same, then press A. Otherwise, press B.
Okay, I'm ending the poll in 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Interesting results. 33% people said A and 67. So are we saying that 33% people, they believe in that all are going to react similarly to the situation?
Yes.
67, they said no. Please take it further from here.
So the as you see, how do we the poll result said ki everybody will have the same intensity was at A?
Yes, A.
Yeah, okay. Otherwise it will be at B. Okay.
Otherwise B.
Yes, correct. So since most of you feel it will be different, so how does one then decide the size of the problem? Was the situation big, small, or medium? Then how do we decide that? Okay, I also want to ask you, if you have to lift a heavy weight, do you have to be strong or will you be weak? Will it be easy to lift a heavy weight when you're weak or you have to be strong? So strong.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Yes. So exactly in the same way, when we are emotionally strong, then we are able to take heavy situations more easily. So when we are emotionally strong, the situation becomes smaller. It seems smaller. But when emotionally we are low, then the situation becomes very difficult to handle. Exactly like you are unable to lift a weight when you are physically weak. Exactly the same way. So for me also, the same thing had applied at that time. I started looking around at the other ladies to see that everybody is not affected as to why I'm affected. Because there was certain turmoil in all of us, but the other ladies were handling it so beautifully. And I started questioning as to why I am going through this.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why I started looking that I need to rectify this in me to be stronger.
Okay. So I'm just trying to understand this in because it's so logical that you are not alone during that time. There were other ladies also, and they also have the same kind of atmosphere. Everything was same there. Right? But you were reacting differently and they were reacting differently. So my question to you is this: how it's possible if you come back to this Goel family situation, right? Because there's no difference between this situation or that situation. So
Yes.
there is a situation, right?
Yes.
How it's possible that same family, but we are reacting differently to the same situation, especially emotionally? Why these are different emotional reactions?
Yeah, okay. Yes. So like we talk about, I mean, emotions and feelings, these are the words we use very easily.
Yeah.
But we have to understand as to how these different feelings and emotions get generated. So that journey we have to see to understand as to why our reactions are different. So I will embark on that journey, and that will actually sort of give so much of clarity to you as to why we all go through this and why it happens to us.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just I'm sorry interrupting you. So it's,
Okay.
even before we start that journey, even I and everyone right now live watching on Zoom or YouTube, I want to be very clear. We are moving towards what? We are moving towards that. Okay, we cannot change the outside world, right? The turmoil is there, the turbulence is there, but what we can change the way we are looking towards it.
Correct.
Right, because if Goel family, if there are, imagine for a moment, there are 10 members, and if they all are reacting differently to 10 members, it means there is something which we have to change, that we are looking towards the situation. Am I right? Have I taken me, am I taking you correctly on this? Is this the way?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Great. So let's move forward from here. Let's go ahead from here. Take it further from here, ma'am.
Yeah. So as I said, we have to see as to how our feelings and emotions get generated. Then only we'll understand why we are going through what we are going through, why this turmoil is there. we all keep talking about, I think a lot of us do mention this word subconscious mind. How many of you know anything about subconscious mind or do use this word subconscious mind?
Just type yes in the chat box if you use this word or you have used this word before.
Lot of them are saying yes, subconscious
yes.
mind.
We use it like
yes. It's everybody says my subconscious mind. And nowadays, there are so many people actually are using this word so frequently. Yeah, correct. So I'll just share the screen to give her more clarity on this. Okay. So our subconscious mind is what? Yeah. Our subconscious mind is where all our experience are stored as memory and nothing escapes it. I'm saying it again. Every experience is stored in our memory, nothing escapes. These experience takes place with the help of our senses. Touch, feel, see, hear. And they are also influenced by our conditioning, by our surrounding, by our environment, by our religion, society, traumas, labels, skill, repetition. All these, it is influenced by all these things. Just think about a girl who comes from a high society and at 10 p.m. she has to go for a party. She may not hesitate. She'll find it a very okay thing. But another girl of the same age from a village, she may find it not at all. I mean, she may not even think about it. She may think how she can't even think about it that she can going out at 10 p.m. Because the girl from a village has a different kind of conditioning. She has a different kind of surrounding and environment. And of course, religion also has another influence. Then all these things create the experiences and it becomes a part of our memory. And that is how we keep getting molded into it. Then trauma, like I was traumatized by my experience in Dalhousie, which created so much of fear for a long time. And then we have like repetitions. We keep repeating, whatever we keep repeating, it becomes our skill. If you see, for most of us, our mother tongue is not English, but we all are here hearing this conversation, talking in English. So we must have learned it along the way. We must have repeated it number of times to learn this language. So whatever you repeat also becomes a part of us. So repetition, conditioning, surrounding, trauma, then labels. If you see, especially as a child, in case somebody who keeps telling you, you will never be successful, or you are bad with numbers, that may leave the scar in you so deep that you actually become like that. You lose your confidence in doing anything and everything. Especially in the children, it leaves a very deep impression in their psyche. So I'll especially request the parents to be aware as to what you say. It is exactly like this sculptor who is carving a statue. So you have to be very careful. The wrong words, they are actually like you're chiseling a statue. So a wrong hit on a chisel can break it or disfigure it. Exactly the same way the children get affected, the people get affected. So when you are saying the words you're using, be careful of what you're using, because that is what the other person becomes. You are thinking that you'll pull them out by making them aware. No, you are actually making them become that. And as I said, nothing escapes the subconscious mind. Everything in life gets stored in the memory. And these memories start making some which we called as belief patterns. Like in the child, when you keep saying that you are bad with numbers, so that child will have this belief pattern that I cannot do maths. And that child will be very not so confident in maths. And a lot of us, we see that the children already have this belief system for the maths that they can't do it. And this is actually becoming very rampant in children nowadays. And after the belief is the perception, because subconscious data creates this belief system, and belief system creates this perception. Perception is how you perceive things. Something is happening around you, how you are perceiving it, how you are taking it inside you. You are taking it as it's a big deal or a not such a big deal. So now, as you see, there is a connection between memories, belief, perception, and these perception, they become our thoughts and then feelings and emotions. So here is a journey before the emotions. So subconscious memories creates a belief, creates a perception. Now this word, as you see, misconception and illusion I have written, what does it mean? Now in the subconscious, if all of us has different experiences, our experiences are unique. The same thing, two people are going to do, I will feel differently about it and you'll feel differently about it. Some may find running 2 kilometers as fun. I may find it a lousy thing to do. So we all have different experience in the same situation. So our experiences are unique. So since our experiences are unique, so our beliefs are unique. Since our beliefs are unique, so the way we perceive things is unique. And that is why it is an illusion which is created by my experiences, because it is not universal truth.
Yeah.
It is not intrinsic truth. Yeah. Because if it was so everybody would be feeling the same. And in fact, it is like our own, the scripture are so great. In Sanskrit, perception is called Maya. So Maya means an illusion. So this is the reason in the Goyal family also, different member had different emotional reaction for the same business loss. So I will have the different emotion in the same circumstances and the other people's may have a different emotion in the same, because our experiences are different. In fact, here I must also mention, even for that matter, the militant and the terrorist, they are also the victim of their memory and their experience, because that is what they have been grilled with. They have been trained, their mind has been trained to do that. And that is what they start believing in. That becomes their belief. Yeah.
One question coming in my mind, I completely agree with this, that the content of our consciousness and, especially the word label, when you were talking about it, and suddenly when I went back on my memory lane, my parents, even they love me, and wherever I have reached is only because of them. But knowingly, unknowingly, they always used to say this: Praveen, you can't do anything correctly. Praveen, you can't do anything correctly. Even if I am cleaning the cycle, my dad will come, you can't do this anything correctly. But that is my condition now. I've been right now also. Now they make a fun of all this, but right now also, even my wife started saying this. My mother.
There's somebody else also, yeah.
My dad
also reacting, yeah.
But, see, understand. On kids, it has a huge impact.
It has. Yeah.
Huge. We have no idea how kids are perceiving that. So as parents, it's your very huge responsibility when you're repeating one thing again and again, you're actually labeling your child.
Yes.
Don't do that. See, we have to move forward. See, we know that now to this label, I react. I feel something. Is there any way to change the way I feel towards it? Is there any way of doing that?
That's the purpose of today's workshop, to hand over those skills to you. That's a main purpose. And yes, we can. So for this, all of you, I will take you through an experience, because, experiences have a different kind of learning, and it's a deeper learning. So I'll request everybody to just place the pencil on the table wherever they are and just relax. You may put your hand in your lap and just be in a relaxed state. So I'll just take a few minutes and take you on a journey. And for this journey, I will request you to shut your eyes just for a few moments. Just shut your eyes and imagine a plate in front of you. And there is a lemon and knife in that plate. In your imagination itself, just pick up the lemon and knife and cut the lemon in small pieces. And while you're cutting it, you may also smell the lemon, the freshness, lemony flavor. Now, in your imagination again, pick up one small piece of lemon and squeeze it in your mouth. Squeeze it in your mouth. Taste the lemon juice in your mouth. And roll it on your tongue. You may taste the sourness of the lemon. Your mouth may start watering. Your salivary gland may become active and start watering. And now slowly, you may open your eyes. So Praveen sir, I'll take your help here to take another poll.
Okay.
And the question I want to ask everybody is, if your mouth had started watering or you tasted lemon, then click A. Any reaction, mouth watering or tasting lemon, click A. If nothing happened, click B.
Okay, so if you have any water in your mouth, any secretion, anything, any reaction, even tingling effect, A.
Yes.
Or B, if you have no problem, nothing happened.
Look at that.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh my God. So let me end the poll and be ready for the surprise, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
So I think almost 9 out of 10 people, 89% people here.
Yeah, correct. So according to the poll, as we see, 89% people experience something. Whatever, they had a water or taste the lemon, even though there was no lemon in real. So you realize that what thoughts can do to us, that just by thinking about the lemon, our body, our senses, they all started reacting as if it is real. It didn't remain imaginative at all. And this is what is going to take our journey further.
True.
Now, feelings and emotion. You thought about something, you thought about lemon, and it created some feeling and emotion, and your body, that means your mouth started watering. It was a reaction of your body. So it was just a thought. There was no lemon there. The same way, when the negative thoughts are generating, it will give heaviness. It will give unpleasantness in the body. I want to ask, you guys can just put it in the chat box. Do you feel when there are negative emotions, is there any heaviness or unpleasantness? Have you ever noticed it? Anybody has ever noticed it?
Yeah, true. Can you
Yeah.
open the
Okay.
chat so they can
Yes.
see each
Yes.
other's?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
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 It's raining
They
like
are. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Because negative emotion creates triggers these negative feelings in the body too. Like lemon created that lemony feeling or watering of the mouth. So negative emotion will make your body more unpleasant, heavy. There may be some kind of a queasiness happening. Maybe there sometimes tightness happens. And this whole body sensation then takes you on another trip of reaction.
Yeah.
There's an unpleasantness, and now I want to take it out. I want to take it out by maybe yelling, screaming, getting stressed, maybe start feeling resentment, start hating somebody. But here what you see is that when we keep doing this, this becomes a repetitive pattern. This becomes a new skill in us.
True.
So now, every time I'm reacting, I am reinforcing that in my subconscious and my memory. It is becoming a larger and larger data in my mind. And it is becoming a part of me, which is going to influence my belief. And I will remain stuck in this pattern again, because that is what I am completing. It will become a new skill in me. Even behavior is a skill and nothing else. Whatever you repeat becomes a part of you. So here, as you see, the body speaks to you, isn't it? Like body reacted. So body is telling you, I'm feeling nice or I'm not feeling nice. When body is feeling unpleasant, so the body is telling you that you are going through something negative. You are creating some negative thoughts and emotions. And when you sense that heaviness in your body, this is the time that you do not move to reaction. Instead of it, just give a pause. And I do say that this body sensation is like innate, like nature has given us this alarm kind of a thing right inside us. That, okay, I'm not feeling nice, so wait, something is not correct. We need to watch out. And that is such a beautiful gift given by the nature to us. Yeah.
One question coming in my mind, that this beautifully you have explained what exactly happening here, the whole pattern because of which I think many of us, we are suffering. Knowingly, unknowingly, we have a habit of reacting, and we are serving slavery to this pattern, if I have to use this word very clearly. Many of us, we are reacting and we don't know when we are reacting. Correct. What is there a way to change this pattern?
Yeah, there are. In fact, the journey I'm sharing is actually my journey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'll be sharing with you. So yes, I have been practicing it, as I said, and this skill, I have put it in 4 steps. Mm-hmm. And these 4 steps, because to make it easier and everybody should remember what to do, so I've put it down in 4 steps. And this is my journey, what I'm sharing with you. The first step is, as I mentioned earlier, you just wait. Because as soon as we react, we give the power to that person or incident. Okay, now you make me feel angry or you make me feel sad. So you are giving a power to that person. The power is not in your hand anymore. And also, the more we keep doing it, it becomes more and more fixed pattern also. So we have to wait, calm ourselves down to take the next step. But then some people may say, waiting may be very difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the first reaction is always that, but I can't do it. Okay. And I do realize that. So today, I am going to be offering a hand-holding program later in the workshop today, which will give you these kind of results and the experience. And this So the second step is to observe. Observe, because earlier, as I had mentioned, your belief is created by your experience, and experience are unique, they are not universal. So since it is unique to me, so that means whatever is happening to me is my misconception. It is not the reality. It's an illusion which we had earlier seen in that perception area. So you wait, observe yourself, and tell yourself, this is my misperception. This is not a universal reality. And even in the Goel family, you saw that. And the best way to do this is, which it really helps us, ask yourself, if there are 10 people facing the same situation, is everybody is going to feel the same thing? Every time the answer is going to be no. So then that means you also have another option. That means you can do something else which is doable because the other person is doing it. And why to make your pattern more and more rigid? You have to get out of this. And this is the purpose of today's workshop. The third point, this is when another person, in a lot of incidents, another person is involved. If some other person is involved and giving you that pain, so you just, once you have observed and looked into yourself, you also have to accept that the other person is also trapped into that misconception. The way that person is saying or doing is actually because his experiences are like that. He's also trapped into that illusion pattern of perceiving things in a wrong way. Like I had mentioned, the terrorist, even though they are doing wrong, but they are also stuck in that pattern because that is what has been pushed into them to make them believe that what they are doing is correct. So with that understanding, just accept that the other person is also trapped and don't take it personally. The last one is bury it for some time. It is exactly like you have a bucket full of dirty water. As long as you are shaking it, it will keep coming up. The dirt will keep coming up. So you have to let your mind settle down, let your upheaval of emotions settle down so that you are calmer and you have more clarity to see and make a decision. So this 4 steps are so huge. What I did was, which I'm sharing it with you, and it really helped, was I wrote WOMB. Wait, observe, misconception, bury. Wait, observe, misconception, bury. I wrote WOMB in different places in my house, on the side of the mirrors, in the kitchen, so that whenever I'm disturbed, this womb would splash and I'll become calmer. And that really helped. I mean, because, when you start exercising a new pattern, that becomes your new way of doing things. It's like new learning.
Many people, even when I started learning meditation skills, even I was pleasantly surprised. Like any other skill, it's a skill which has to be learned. And the very essence of any skill is that repetition. So when we start learning driving, we become very uncomfortable. So when we start implementing WMB, you will be a little uncomfortable, right? Yeah. Isn't it?
Somebody is asking to share the image. I'll just share the image again.
Please share the image.
Maybe they want to write it down. Yeah.
But please write it down, and write it down on your wall, write it down in your mind.
Yes.
But because when you will implement this, when they will implement this, because it's a skill, initial, of course, there will be a resistance. Of course, there will be a little uncomfortable. But when you are a little uncomfortable, it means you're learning new skill. So one question coming in my mind, I become a student of WMB. I said, yes, I want to. What are the long-term benefits I will get from this?
Huge. It has changed my life. I mean, if 20 years back, anything I used to take personally. But now I don't, because it's so easy to forgive the other people. But the advantage is I would rather show it in a real stepwise way. The more you practice this skill, your body starts communicating more and more. Your body becomes your friend. It is exactly like you buy a new vehicle of a particular model and you go on the road and suddenly you see that so many vehicles of the same brand are there. Not that everybody bought it at that time. It is just that you started noticing it now. So when you start noticing your body communicating to you, it becomes more and more. It starts connecting with you more and more. That is so huge, because your body becomes your friend. The second would be the new pattern start becoming more prominent. Because the more you practice them, they will become a larger part of your data bank, which is a subconscious memory. And they will keep dispersing the old rigid patterns. And the third would be this skill will become your new freedom, because now your remote is in your hand the way you want to feel. Presently, we all have given a remote to somebody else. Okay, you make me angry. You make me sad. Take the remote back. It's your new freedom.
I think I just love that line. We have to take the control back.
Yeah.
Tell me, is there any research on our mind, on our emotion, or maybe the impact of what we are talking about? Is there any research done on this particular subject? What's your view on that?
Yes, even in a day-to-day life, I'm sure you must have heard the doctors, people who go through these hypertension and diabetes, people who have diabetes. In everyday life also, if you see, when you go to the doctor, he'll always say, why don't you reduce your tension and stress? Why don't you work on it? Because that is going to control your hypertension and diabetes also. So negative emotion has a direct impact. And I will share one of the largest research work by Dr. Daniel. He was a X-ray technician initially and then became a psychiatrist. And he took the brain images of 83,000 brains, 83,000 brains to study. And he calls them as a young brain and the old brain. And this old brain, you see how it is. And this has nothing to do with the age, mind you. This has nothing to do with that. But his whole research showed that people who have emotional issues and health issues, even for that matter, people who have the weight issue, they had this kind of a brain image. And people who were healthier emotionally and physically, they had this kind of a brain image. And in fact, he runs this healing institute to transform old brain to young brain. So in fact, I have been very fortunate. But another thing was that in his research, he also realized that people with young brain, they have more creativity also. So they have more growth quality, just not about physical and emotional thing. So this also goes into their successful journey, their growth journey also. And they had better relationship because their emotions were more conducive for a better relationship. And I was also very fortunate to be a part of one such experiment rather. It was done on 12 volunteers. And I'll share this with you. And there was a lot of heavy scanners which were brought in this experiment. And they wanted to see as to how mind can affect the body. Because science wants proof. So this ES-Tech complex, this works something like ECG, and this is FDA approved machine. In fact, in Pune, they have installed this into two hospitals over here. And this scanner gives a detailed report of what the body is going through and what deficiency it has. And not only that, it tells you much in advance, in near future, what disease may come up. That's the beauty of this. This is very popular in UK and US. So these scanners were also brought over there. And this picture which I'm showing you is of a lady. If you see, she had a lot of anger and resentment. She's 40 years old, not married. She had a lot of anger towards her family because she felt that nobody took really charge of her looking for a right partner for her. So she had a lot of resentment because her two sisters are married. And if you see, the signs were being shown over here in a different color code. So in these scanners, they have a color codes in which they actually mention what this color code means. So this change in color is showing the effect of her anger and resentment. And that got cleared after we worked over there for 3 days on these people. And this is the result we saw. There's another one. This lady, she does not like any kind of emotional sharing or physical affection. She avoids any physical affection. So her brain was also showing a lot of these signs, and that got cleared. So I want to tell you, we all keep working in this area about our health, relationship. We'll talk about what to eat, what not to eat, exercise. Then we look at how to make the right decisions about our future and growth. Relationship, happiness is maybe party time, shopping time. But these are all temporary measures. They are not long lasting because the root cause is here, internal. Until you have worked on this, this will keep coming up. That is why it is extremely important to work on this to make a difference over here.
One question coming in my mind. Just stop the screen share. It's a $1 million question. Normally we say that sometimes we have to take the taste of our own medicines, but you don't believe in that. You rather believe in treating and healing people without medicine. But one question coming in my mind, ma'am, all the techniques and methods, what you're sharing and suggesting and prescribing, have you ever used on yourself or maybe for your family?
Many times, and not just for minor issues, but for chronic issues, and not just for me. With my elder son, he had some chronic issue also with him. But then today I'll share my story. This was 2018 November. Actually, 2018 I had some skin infection. And in November, it was a small skin infection appeared in my leg, in my right leg. And then when I went for the test, I went to the doctor, they ran a test and they said it is eczema. Now, eczema is an autoimmune disease. And autoimmune disease means allopathy does not have a solution or a cure for it. And my friends, I have a lot of doctor friends, they actually told me that, Poonam, this is a lifelong thing. But somehow I did not believe in it. First, initially, I did try allopathy for some time. I did try homeopathy, Ayurveda, naturopathy for a few months. But it kept on increasing to the pace which was unbelievable. From November 2018 to April 2019, this is what my state was. So don't be, these are unpleasant pictures, but this is what, it had spread all over my body. I started working desperately because on myself with my own methods, because knowing how mind and body has a connection, I knew something in my mind has shifted. There are some old memories which has triggered this in my body. And for after 6 months, my skin started clearing up. And now everything is absolutely clear with the God's grace. So, because of my work, my health became better. And if this journey of mine, I always, anything happens to me, now I look inwards. This is what my journey has taught me, that first I look inwards. I will work from inside out instead of outside in.
Absolutely.
And I will look for how to look from within. And if this journey of mine gives any of you any hope to heal yourself, to heal your life, type me in the chat box.
Let me open the chat. Type me. Yes.
If my journey gives you some hope to heal some part of your life, then type me. Oh, so many are there. So many are there. Yeah.
So you're
And I'm
overwhelmed.
so glad to be here that I am giving this information to all of you, that you have the power within you. So never lose hope.
I'm respectfully stopping the chat. You can
Yeah,
still keep
yeah.
writing.
But also, let me also ask you, what habits or emotions or behavior pattern you think, in case you change, are going to sort of make your life better? What are the draining habits, emotions, or behavior you have? And remember, it is about you, because a lot of people will come and tell me, change my wife, or change my husband's this and this, or change my in-laws. That I cannot do. So this is about you. You have to look within what you want to change.
Now we have to respect time. We have already taken 7 minutes extra, right? So let me ask this question now. After spending almost 1 hour, 7 minutes with you, man,
Correct.
there will be a lot of people here hungry and thirsty to learn more. Right? So what is the product what you have, or can we spend more time with you to learn more, especially those people who really want to look inward and understand that, yes, sometimes medicines and all, I'm not denying the importance of science and medicines, but it is very important for us to heal our fears, important to understand our emotions, break that pattern, so we can live a life which is full of peace. Right? So tell us more about your program, how we can spend more time and can learn more from you.
Okay. So today, yes, as I mentioned earlier also, I would like to spend more time, those who would like to heal certain blockages in themselves. So what you learned today, that process, if done with certain skills, have a much profound and shows a much quicker and effective results, which I'm going to share now. For this, it's a 5 days live program for 5 days. And I will be personally working with you and on you. It is not a recorded session, to clear a blockage in your life. And in this program, I will be only taking 25 committed participants, because it's a commitment. I want you to be there. And those who are committed should only enter this program, because then only it will benefit you. And the name of this program is, the name of this program is Reset Your Health, Peace, and Growth. So this program is for 5 days, 15th November to 19th November. We will meet every morning at 6 a.m. for 1 hour for 5 days. And most of us are going to wonder why 5 a.m. There are a few reasons. Firstly, the morning hours give better results. Mind is fresh, so it is more conducive to adjust and adapt the changes. The second point is, mind is much calmer and it connects deeper more easily. So that's another advantage. The third advantage is in the morning when I'm going to work on you, the entire day you are going to enjoy the high energy throughout the day. So that's another bonus you'll get. So let us understand how will I work on day-wise. So on day one, we will identify the thoughts and the emotional blockages. As the issues which we suffer on the surface has the cause lying somewhere deeper. What we like in case somebody has an anger issue. So anger is not an issue. As to what is happening within him, which is bringing that anger, we have to tap into that. So we will identify the thoughts and emotional blockages as to why what is happening to that person. Second day, we will be creating a new pattern that is working on the blockage, which was identified on day one, to disperse it and create a new pattern. And on day three, we will be cutting literally and deactivating the old pattern, because the old pattern needs to be dispersed completely. And on the fourth day, we are going to heal the scars of the past. This is extremely important. Suppose a girl of 11 years old, in case has been abused, and now she's 30 years old woman. The scars of the 11 years old will be there. So we need to clean those scars, because those scars will keep bringing up behavior patterns. She may never make a good relationship. She may always have that fear of coming closer to another partner. So it is important to heal those scars, because they keep coming up either as a health issue or emotional issue. And on the fifth day, how to enhance the emotional health and the growth, because I will be arming you with certain skills, how to take it forward, and also how to take it forward. So this is 5 days program. Morning, 6 to 7 a.m., November 15 to 19th, and day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, the whole process is there to clean the blockage, which we are going to identify on day 1. But now you must be thinking, what is the investment? What is the cost? That is another thing. Yes. So the cost actually is 5,500 for this 5 days program. But then Praveen sir had a conversation with me, and he told me that this is the need of the hour, which I totally agree. So he mentioned that we must give this service at least this time at a highly reduced cost to benefit as many as possible, so that people can easily afford it, yet some commitment of investment is there. So I decided to honor that. So you must keep your payment cards ready, because it is only for 25 entries, and the payment gateway will be open only for 15 minutes. So let me see if I have enabled the discount before I share it with you. So keep your payments cards ready, so that and I am giving it a highly reduced cost this time, only because Praveen sir had such an emotional conversation with me, and you can only thank Praveen sir for this. Okay, so here it is. It is only for 490 rupees. And only you can thank Praveen sir for this talk with me.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting the links in the chat. You have 2 options in case.
Yeah.
If you are not available on 15th to 19th of November, she will be doing the same workshop 13th to 17th of December too. So make sure you're choosing the best date, but don't lose an opportunity of learning and working on yourself. Nothing more important than yourself.
Yeah.
So the links are there in the chat. Please go ahead.
I'll also put the timer on.
Please do that.
So this is just for 15 minutes. And this is, as Praveen sir has mentioned, there are 2 dates available. One is 15 to 19 November, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And the second choice you have is of 13 to 17 December, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And both the links are given in the chat box.
Okay, someone is asking, will the recordings available if in case of by chance they miss it?
We will be giving it, but it's my earnest request, because when I am working on some other people, there are other modalities at that time I'm also using. So it would be a huge benefit if you are there. It would be really much more benefit.
Right.
Yeah, it would be lovely to be that in case you can make it. And that is why maybe also that was another thought I had, is to keep it at 6 a.m. because people are not occupied at that time. So that's another reason. So 6 to 7 a.m. is a very, very time which is generally your day-to-day activities doesn't start. And this is the best gift you can give it to yourself, because nothing is more important than your own health.
Yeah.
And the best gift for yourself in this new year for 2022 you can give is the happier and healthier you.
Absolutely. Nothing more important than your body, heart, and soul. Yes. One very important question, and I will not stop myself from asking that question to you. Tanushree is asking a very relevant question. She's saying, Praveen, even though it will be a group session and meeting session, so we can see each other.
Yes. Yes.
But she said, Praveen, a rather question for you, that if that will be a group session, then how we will discuss our problem openly?
I have some means, and this thing, because in the workshops I do that, we have certain means to do that, so that you will experience when you are there in the session.
Good. So that will be taken care, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Few people are writing done. Make sure that you are putting your correct email ID. Why? Because the Instamojo will instantly send a reply to your email ID, so get the confirmation. Okay, so put your correct email ID, so you get the instant confirmation from Instamojo. Okay, can you just stop the screen share, ma'am?
Sorry.
Okay, for all those people who want to still refer the dates are there in the chat. Okay, let me also put the if you're watching me outside, maybe on YouTube, let me put the dates and the link there too. So those people who send the link, yeah, sending. I'm sorry, for a moment, I just skipped that. I'm sending the date of 1st, 15th to 19th of November. And then I'm also putting another link, which is a separate link for December.
Somebody is saying, Chandni is saying that she has a digestive issue. Okay, yes, you can put your questions here. I'll try and address them. Okay, yes, because digestive issues are also caused because of the stress. So we are, Sunil sir, we are giving 2 options of the dates. So you can choose either of them.
Right now we have 2 options. Normally what we have decided is that we will be doing only 1 live workshop per month. So I think we have in November and we have on December.
Yes.
So coming back to, that's an interesting, important point. How it's connected to digestive issue.
Okay, so there is something which is great. I mean, since you have asked this question, so I'll just show this.
Sure.
If you see this, the areas of the body affected by the stress, and stress can be caused by all kinds of emotions. So it affects our mind, it affects our body. You will start feeling body paining. We all can connect to this, that when you are stressed and there is a tension, your body starts maybe hurting sometimes. You may start having a palpitation issue. Sometimes you feel the tightness in your stomach. And when this pattern keeps on repeating, so that organ starts ailing. Yeah. Because in the lemon experience, you had realized when you think, your body reacts. Now your stress is giving a reaction in particular part of your body. So that body, in case repeatedly getting impacted by something, so that organ starts giving a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell me, just see.
There's somebody who's asking for womb page again.
Yeah, we will come to that, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have certain question, because if I have to invest on
Hmm.
you, and because many of us, we have this sense of alienation towards this kind of processes, because I remember at the age of 37, when the first time I went for meditation to learn meditation,
Hmm.
and in the first 45 minutes I realized that, oh my god, for the first time I'm doing this in my life, sitting like this for 45 minutes for the first time in my life, right? So many of us, we are so busy in life, so busy, we don't look inside.
Yeah.
We always look outside.
Yeah.
So busy, unfortunately, that's how we are conditioned.
Yeah.
But you have worked on various people. Can we share one out very quickly? But because I'm starting the timer now, ladies and gentlemen, next session is on. So
No,
I'm starting the 10 minutes
yes.
timer first. This is
Yes.
the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
10 minutes timer, please, Sherry.
I have worked on many people. I mean, there are. I mean, it's like I can write an entire book on that.
Mhm.
I will just share this with you, girls, what she has gone through. She, in her 12th, she had lost all her confidence and she was blanking out in her exam. And she was very sure that she's not going to pass. But this child came to me at that time and she scored 84%. And now, after 3 years, she's working now. This is after 3 years, she sent me this. So, yeah.
What happens if your each and every day starts with sadness and ends with sadness? No one is there for you. Nobody's understanding you. Basically, you are struggling a lot to prove yourself and nobody's there to help you. And the result is you are depressed and you are in frustration. I was depressed. And the only thing I have in my mind was taking up my life. But taking up my life scared me more. Nobody was supportive. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I lost my strength, confidence, everything. That was a moment when Carla ma'am came in my life. So thank you so much, Carla ma'am, for your sessions. And the people who are struggling, please, please, please trust me.
So if you think about it, in case she wouldn't have come at that time, she may not have scored well. She would have lost out on going to a good college. And today she may have gone into depression because 12th exam are something which is going to pave a way for rest of the life.
True.
That one decision turned her around.
One question for the audience. We all understand nothing more important than our body. Who are those people who have already taken the decision? Just type I. Praveen, I'm already in payment then, or I'm in the middle of the process. Just type I in the chat box. Those who have said, Praveen, yes, done, just type I.
Yes.
Those who have already taken the decision of spending time with her so you can actually work on your body, work on your soul, and live a life which you have imagined for yourself. There is nothing more important than psychological sanity. Right? No matter how much money you have in your bank.
It is not just psychological. It connects with relationship. It connects with your growth because the clarity of decision making is not there.
Absolutely, ma'am.
And health, not just mind.
Not just mind. If you want to work on various departments of your life, see, this is the launch offer. You know that.
Yes.
This offer is not going to stay for long.
And all thanks to you. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but this offer is not going to stay long. So I'm again sharing the links with you. All those people who have still not taken the decision, if 490 rupees is not going to shake your financial stability, if you think that Praveen 490 is worth to spend 5 days with her, work on my body, work on my soul so I can live a good life.
Yeah.
This is how much time we have. Last 6 minutes, 38 seconds left.
There's one more. I'll just share one more. This thing.
Yep.
This gentleman is a doctor. And he is a brilliant doctor going through depression, and his mother is a doctor too. And he was going through so much of stress, anxiety. In fact, he actually mentioned that he wants to commit suicide also. That is when his mother contacted me. And as a doctor, I'm always skeptical in taking them because they don't believe in these things. They're only believing in popping pills. But this guy, this gentleman, because he used to do meditation and also he sort of was okay with this. And he had all these issues, if you see. And after few sessions, he absolutely, it turned his life around. And from the age of 6 years old, he was carrying something. And he's now about 29 years old. I have even worked on people with 40 years of medication of depression, 40 years with backaches, shoulder pain. All these are most of the time psychosomatic. At a younger age, in case you have this issue, it is generally psychosomatic.
One question, just to repeat again, because I don't want that should be the barrier to enter and build a relationship with ma'am. Time of the workshop again is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Yes.
early in the morning.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I must tell you, those people have a habit of getting up late. Use this opportunity to start the new habit of getting up early in the morning.
Because
Please.
the thing is, there are a lot of benefits. The therapy works much better in the morning. I want to benefit them.
Yep, true.
So you take it my selfishness, but I want to give results.
No, absolutely. I think one of the very important decisions even I have taken in my life and that I've learned from when I'm learning breathing exercises. Earlier, I was also late night working, get up early in the morning, sleep when you are sleepy, get up when you are awake, that kind of attitude. Then when I started learning this, that initial few hours of the day, when you work on your body, especially on your breathing or your body or your mind, I think your entire day is done.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
But many times we don't realize this. The whole efforts what we are taking is ensuring that this line that's the soul and that's the essence. Whenever I try my best to bring people like you in front of all those people who are a part of my community, let's learn from those people who have learned from their life. They have learned this skill because life demanded. She has learned this 20 years ago because it was required for her. She has treated I know her story, how she has treated her child also. Your son, can you just quickly tell us about your son, how you have treated your
Actually,
son?
my son was detected in the 3rd year of college with arthritis in his lower back. And we tried all kind of things, and arthritis is something, it's a lifelong thing. So I gave him some one-to-one sessions, deeper sessions. And for past 6 years, he's absolutely without it. He doesn't take any medication. Actually, he's in a profession where he can't take medication because he cannot be medically unwell. So past 5 years, he's absolutely out of it. And I mean, it was really profound. And I'm so thankful that there was a whole journey which I took, and because of that, I could touch my children, I could heal myself. So it has really benefited me hugely, hugely. Not just me, of course, my work also. I touch so many lives. So that's a blessing. I mean, I'm just a mediator.
And that's the beauty of life, right? The
That
beauty of life is that how do you contribute? How much you contribute before we leave? Everyone has to leave, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just a mediator. I mean, it's your subconscious which does it.
Absolutely.
I'm just channeling it.
Okay. Few people are asking me, can we pay by Paytm, Google, and PhonePe? You can just scan this or write down this number very quickly. But when you are doing it, Paytm, Google Pay, PhonePe payment, make sure you are sending the screenshot of the payment along with the date which you want. So my team will send to you the link of that respective date. Last 2 minutes left, by the way. Last 2 minutes left. If you guys are suffering because of some heavy traffic, ma'am, I must tell you, where multiple people click on the same link again and again, it gets very heavy. So in case if you're suffering with the heavy traffic on the link, you can also use Google Pay, PhonePe, Paytm very quickly. Just scan the QR code or write down the number, and without fail, make sure send the screenshot along with the dates. You know what are the dates? The dates are already there in the, when I was sharing the link with you. For the last time I'm sharing the link. If 490 is not going to shake your financial stability, my humble request, make sure you spend 5 days with Poonam madam and work on your body, heart, and soul. Same number. Only if you are paying to the number. If you have already paid by clicking on the link, online payment, check your email, you have got the confirmation. But in case if you are paying to that mobile number, then you have to send the screenshot. Otherwise, it is not required. We have last few seconds left. Any question? Anyone here before I disable the discount? So we have to respect the words.
Yeah.
So I will be disabling the discount. If anyone here who is in the middle of the payment, do let me know. I'm starting the process of disabling the discount. The same link won't work after a few seconds. If anyone here, just say I in the chat box if you are in the middle.
Yeah, there is no certificate because I'm working on you. You are not learning any skill. Somebody is asking for a certificate. Yeah.
See, someone who's asking for the certificate for the sake of certificate, we can issue the certificate. Don't do it for the certificate, please.
Okay.
We will give the certificate for the sake of certificate.
Not health.
But don't, absolutely. Right. Making the payment right now, ma'am. There is a limit. Okay, last 5 minutes. I'm extending because lots of people have written they are in the middle of the payment.
Yes,
last 5 minutes. After that,
yes, I can.
9 p.m. we have already set up a next webinar, so we might have to close this technically also.
Correct.
5 minutes timer, please, sorry. Last 5 minutes, links are there in your chat box. Choose your date, November or December, based upon your requirement. Do not worry. Even if you miss it, you're booking for November. If you miss it, you can shift to December.
Yeah.
But don't work on recordings. Meet people live.
Yeah.
Use technology. So there's no logic of, if there is a genuine reason of missing the live session, I'm not denying the importance of that.
Correct.
Receive confirmation mail. Thank you. All the people do check your spam also. Sometimes InstaMojo sends email in the spam. Make sure. Yeah, absolutely, sir. You may consider in case if you are done with it. We are there only for last 44 minutes 13 seconds. Then even we have to close this session respectfully. Thank you very much for that. Okay, ma'am, please. Yeah, this has come several times. And please show home page again.
Yeah, I wanted to take your permission before.
No, you absolutely don't need any permission from me. Please go ahead. I've seen that several times. Please go ahead.
I do. And I mean that whosoever, he really is keen. Okay, why don't you just take a pic of that so that you can write it later? Just take a pic on your phone. Just click on your phone camera so that it stays with you. Yeah. And you must write it in different parts of the house because then it benefits more because it keeps reminding you to practice that. The most important is it becomes a part of your skill. So like you learned English, this should become a part of you. So I'll stop sharing now.
Sure. Someone said, Praveen, I have not received the email. So you have to receive it because it's an InstaMojo payment reply back. So if you're doing a payment on InstaMojo, it's a payment gateway. It has to send the reply back. So make sure you're checking your spam, but do not worry. If it, in case by mistake, if you have written so you have received it. Okay, you have received it. Who said? Link is not working. So try again. It will work. Now the traffic is slightly slow because almost those who have taken the decision already, they have gone through the payment. This program will be only for 5 days.
Yes.
This
offer is for 5 days.
Yep. Yes. It's a 5 days program, live program. Okay, I'm starting the process of disabling the discount now. So we respect our words, especially those people who are in the middle of the payment. I extended for 5 minutes, but now we have to respect the words. And now I'm disabling the discount of November 1st It means now the November won't work. I have deactivated November, and the same time I am deactivating December too. I could see a significant percentage of people, they are in Diwali mode, so they have taken December batch. But yeah, that's
okay. Yeah.
that's okay, absolutely.
Everybody has their priority.
Absolutely. Okay.
And I'm thankful that you thought of that, because the conversation you had with me, that because of the Diwali rush, give another option also. So I'm thankful for that suggestion. Thank you so much. Yeah.
But this, ma'am, thanks for taking all the efforts of taking the decision that there is your experience, your knowledge, because you have got benefits from it, because your family members have got benefits from it, because many other people in last few years have got benefits from it. And I'm happy that you have decided to use technology to share those benefits and reach more number of people. I must appreciate that decision.
And it's a I have started manifesting this since last year, that I want to now reach out more people. I want to.
Right.
Yeah.
So lots of people have joined. Make sure now they are in your hands. Spend time with them and make sure that the benefits which you have got, how they can get the benefits.
Definitely.
Right. With this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sirs and madams,
thank you so
if
much.
you have purchased,
so much.
Check your email, and we will be creating a small WhatsApp group just before the event date. Not from now. There's no logic of creating the WhatsApp group now. Just before the event date, we'll create a small WhatsApp group, so you can coordinate with each other or with even with her during those 5 days. Those who have paid by Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, make sure you are sending the screenshot. So my team tomorrow morning will send the link and the confirmation to you. You also write the date which you want to choose, November or December. Okay. With this, let's respect time. This is Prem Raka signing.
Thank you, everybody. Bless everybody. Thank you so much.
I'm respectfully ending this session.
Thank you.